Greetings to all the aspirants present out there. This is Chandigarh Civil Services. Aspirants, we have already started one series that is related to your Himachal Pradesh administrative examination, where we have already covered certain topics like governance in Himachal Pradesh. Then we had covered your RTI Act, then Himachal Pradesh Public Service Guarantee Act, and various administrative reforms. So far we have covered these main topic. So continuing that particular series, in this particular session, we will be having a discussion of the implementation of the 73rd and 74th amendment with respect to your Himachal Pradesh. So let's see what exactly in this particular. But before we dive into what exactly it is having a reference with the Himachal Pradesh, let's have a little introduction about the 73rd and 74th Constitution Amendment. As we know that this particular amendment has given a constitutional status to the panchayati Raj institution, urban local bodies in both letter and spirit. So this is very important that it has got the constitutional recognition. And yes, why this particular brought? In order to bring the decentralization, involvement of the community in the planning and implementation schemes, and thus in order to increase the accountability. And we know that this is a major component of your good governance. But when we dive into this, most of the important matters such as implementation, service delivery, and transfer of the responsibility and the powers to the rural local bodies, this is just at the discretion of the state legislature. So because of this is also one of the biggest lacuna, that it also lacks a certain kind of accountability also. Let's see the implementation of the Panchayati Raj institution in the Himachal Pradesh. So what are exactly the development of the Panchayati Raj institution in the Himachal Pradesh? Let's see the historical background, how it evolved with the passage of time. So first is that the Panchayati Raj system established as a statutory form under the Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act of 1952 in the year 1954. And yes, with the proclamation of this particular act, 466 Gram Panchayats has came into the existence in the year 1954. And yes, with the passage of time, it has increased to 638 in the 1962. And yes, when the hill areas of the Punjab that merged with the Himachal Pradesh, that is on the 1st November 1956, then the Gram Panchayat numbers has increased to 1695. So this is very, very important that how the Gram Panchayat's number has increased with the passage of time. And yes, in order to bring the uniformity in the Panchayati Raj system, the Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act of 1968, which was enacted on the 15th November 1970, it has brought a two-tier Panchayati Raj system was established. So just in order to bring the uniformity in the Panchayati Raj, it has led to the formation of the two-tier Panchayati Raj system. And yes, the final and the most important, that is the Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act. It came into the existence into the 1994 by repealing the old Act of 1968 in the view of the very historic amendment, that is your 73rd Constitution Amendment. So in order to adhere to the concept of the 73rd Constitution Amendment, Himachal Pradesh government has also repealed the old Act of the 1968, and it has brought the new Act, that is your Himachal Pradesh Raj Act, Panchayati Raj Act of 1994. So this is very, very important. Next, let us see what this particular new Act of the 1994 has brought the changes. Very important changes. First change is your three-tier Panchayati Raj was brought. Then the reservation of the seats for the SC and ST. And yes, along with this, the 1/3 reservation of the seats for the women, and which exactly compose 50% now in the Himachal Pradesh. So that means these are the three changes which brought under this new Act. Along with this, the constitution of the State Finance Commission and the State Election Commission has also brought under this particular changes. In addition to it, when we dig into more, we see that the Article 243G of the Constitution, which provided that the legislature of the state must lay down the panchayat with the such powers and authority to function as the institution of the self-government. So that means it has also brought the changes, that is the Article 243G, where it has tried to make the institution as a self-government. That is, it is adhering to the concept of the decentralization. So that means so that they can work as an autonomous body. Along with this, the state government has also enacted the Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act 1994. Along with this, Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Journal Rules, that is of the 1997. Along with this, it also brought the certain more other rules, that is Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Finance, Budget, Account, Audit, Work and Taxation and Alliances Rules of the 2002. So these are the certain changes, or these are the certain enactment after the proclamation of your 1994 Act. Why this particular? In order to enable the institution to work as a third tier of the government. So these are the certain changes, very important, after the 1994 Act. So this is important. Next, when we see the salient features of this particular Act, let us see, first is your Gram Sabha. When we talk about first biggest important feature of this particular Act is your Gram Sabha. Yes, what exactly the meaning of the Gram Sabha? It is defined under the Article 243B, Section 3 of the Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act of the 1994. So what exactly? This is the primary body of the Panchayati Raj institution system, and yes, it is a permanent body. And yes, when we talk about what exactly it composed, then it composed of your Sabha of the electorate. That is the local people of that area. And yes, the decision of the Gram Sabha cannot be annulled by any other body. So that means this decision cannot be annulled by any other body. And who are the members of the Gram Sabha? Any person who is 18 or above the 18 years of the age is a part of this, living in that particular area. And yes, one most important, that is whose name is included in the electoral roll for the panchayat at the village level. So this is the first important feature related to your Panchayati Raj Act, that is your Gram Sabha, and it nothing but it just includes the Sabha of the electorate. Next, when we talk about Himachal Pradesh, at present 12 Jila Parishad, 81 Panchayat Smitis and 3615 are the Gram Panchayat in the state. So this is a factual detail which is important, which you can use. Whenever we are writing any answer, it is very important that we have to substantiate it with the factual information also. Let's see who organizes the Gram Sabha. So yes, your Panchayat Secretary is organizing, but yes, after obtaining the approval of the Sarpanch should be organized the Gram Sabha. So that means he has to seek the approval of the Sarpanch. Along with this, the Gram Panchayat Sarpanch has also to convene when either 10% of the members of the Gram Sabha or 50 members of the Gram Sabha, whichever is more, submit their application for holding the Gram Sabha. So that means ki around 10% of the members, that is your 50 members of the Gram Sabha, has to submit their application in order to conduct the meeting of it. Along with this, a written request for the meeting must be handed over to the Sarpanch during the office hours 5 days before the date of the meeting. So this is how the Gram Sabha is being organized. So these are the certain details related to it. But yes, one of the most important, that is your Panchayat Secretary is organizing this particular. Along with this, let's see what are exactly the functions of your Gram Sabha. This is the first feature of this particular act. In this particular session, we are taking the first feature that is related to Gram Sabha. But in the upcoming videos, we will be having a discussion of your Panchayat Smitis and your at the block level, and everything will have a discussion. So this is just the one part of discussion of your Gram Sabha. Let's see, when we talk about the function of Gram Sabha, the section 7 of the Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act of the 1994, it has assigned the many functions like it mobilizes the voluntary labor and contribution in kind and cash for the community in the various welfare programs. So that means recruitment of the Gram Sabha for the various welfare programs is done under this particular. Along with this, identification of the beneficiaries for the implementation of the various developmental schemes pertaining to that particular villages, promotes unity and harmony among all the sections of the society in the Gram Sabha area, and yes, it is vested with the power to consider and make the recommendation to the Gram Panchayat or the important matters. So that means it just worked on the as a legislature of the village. So that means this is one of the most important ground level functioning which is playing a very, very important role in order to for the implementation of the various developmental schemes. So this is about the first feature related to your Himachal Pradesh Panchayati Raj Act of the 1994. So this is all about today's session. So stay tuned and connected. Thank you.